My name is Kimberly Noel.
And I am Tianam.
Around 2018, we both went on a solo journey. We have changed our life completely, left everything behind, and chose to live in a van that we have been converting ourselves. Tianam made a music studio, and I made an art studio out of it. And since then, we have been living a minimalistic and nomadic lifestyle close to nature. And we chose to live this way to reduce our footprint, but as well to spend time with important questions about life and see like how can we contribute something to a balanced world. What is the role as us as humans in this ecosystem? And it brought us to many new experiences. So we did environmental based projects, going to eco villages, experiencing religion, mindfulness, philosophy, doing cleanups. And
yeah, first we had to learn to create a van. We had no experiences whatsoever, but we managed. And we had to learn also about living limited living space, because we went from a house to a van, and we had to learn about our resources or about our consumption, like how much water we have, how much water we need, electricity, heating. And this all was also to create more reconnection with nature and to, what you said already, like minimalize our footprint. So we live for now, I think, around 6 years off-grid and the most remote places. We met each other in northern Norway again, and it's a big contrast for us because there's a lot of raw nature there still. And we are coming from the Netherlands, and a dense population. So for us it was a big contrast, and it was easy to see the difference and what we can do and what we have to give to nature, and that we would like to give more to nature than we take. So we went all in this way of, we talked about our ancestors, and we're so inspired by the way how they lived back then, and how can we get to have, how can we reconnect even more as city people. So we learned to forage and hunt and fish. We went to the natives there and to learn from them. But as well, it was almost getting winter there. The winter was arriving, and we thought like, we need to also learn to cope with how can we cope with the extreme nature conditions. So we decided to overwinter in the northern of Norway for 3 months, both in vans, and we had limited heating source, and we even tried not to use the heating because we felt also to challenge ourselves mentally and physically with no sunlight, going barefoot, running every day, every second day ice bathing, waking up in minus 15 or something, and you couldn't open the door anymore. It was pretty extreme. And once we have experienced this, we felt that we were on the same page, we were on the same mission, we were on the same life project. So we thought like, this is the thing we have to do in our lives. We want to dedicate our lives to nature, to all living beings. So our life project called Be Alive for Alive, and is established in 2021.
It was totally heartbreaking for us to see how much nature is suffering right now, and we were so surprised on the other hand like how adaptable we still are and how much opportunities there still are. And by living so close to nature, for us it really felt like a gift, and like how can we share this gift with others, how can we connect others with nature again, and how can we amplify this message of how important nature is. And and
then we met so many people along the way, and we learned that our stories were very encouraging them also to follow their dreams, or to see like, hey, but okay, you came from out of nowhere and you are now here, so maybe I can still do it too, and I felt pretty devastated also to see that many people were lost or not feeling like fitting in their society, or overwhelmed by problems like we know, but what can we do with it?
Just before that, we chose to sell my van, so we're living in one now, to be able to financially continue this project. And we shared our life story, and we both have a very different background. Like, my wake-up call was during my study. They didn't ask to innovate the company, what they usually do, but they asked me to innovate myself and see, like, how can I contribute something to the world, not in terms of what I want, but in terms of what the world need. So that was for me a huge wake-up call that really made me realize, wow, okay, what's happening in the world? What does the world need? What can I give?
Yeah.
And
wow, this was a very amazing moment when I heard this from you. For me, it was totally different because I had a dream from when I was 7 years old, and I followed this dream for 18 years long. I wanted to play all over the world with my own music. And I had a lot of opportunities in my life. I was writing my music, and I could immigrate to the United States, be on a big label with a living jazz legend. Everything was settled, and I was 25 years old. So when my dream came true, this was my wake-up call of, like, is this really my dream? You know, who am I? You know, I'm sending messages into the world. I felt suddenly a big responsibility because I knew the impact of music. It can be so powerful. It connects, you know. And what am I gonna write about? You know. I don't know if I even discovered and experienced so much about life, because I was talking and I was writing about life and nature, but I didn't feel that I discovered enough. Even though that I felt to share all the music I created in my life, because I felt to share my stepping stones towards the place where I am right now. And this also, you know, the theme of this was also about dreams. Like, I was talking with Kimberly about The Little Prince, and like the story about not forgetting your dream. And I was thinking about my friends, they're from the United States, and we were in the south of France. Like, okay, where are they? So they apparently were like 2 hours from us. Like, okay, we have to go there. The first thing we did see was the Little Prince projection on the castle. It was the official exhibition even.
when I was living in a van, I was creating art, and we chose to share this art for free with the world, to share the message of nature and of be alive for all life. So when we saw this projection on the castle, we're like, okay, let's share an artwork here, and we give it to the owner, which apparently is the biggest biodynamic wine grower of the world. And we had beautiful moments and conversations, and we're like, wow, this is very much resonating with our life philosophy as well. So we had a beautiful festival. We went back to the middle of nowhere with our van, and we were on the parking lot, and then I realized, like, my forgotten dream again, because in the art I was already using natural materials, but it was always my dream to make 100% natural art, and it was very complicated, so I never managed. But then I'm like, I'm now together with him, so and he's an amazing mind, so we were like, yeah, we can do this, we can do this together.
we were like having a bit, both had a creative background, so when I heard this dream of her, I was like, okay, this is amazing. This is the way how we can amplify the message to be alive for life, to really care about nature, you know. And
as well, like, our ancestors used to tell stories in this way as well, so we were like, oh man, this is an amazing way to share stories throughout generations.
And especially the importance of what is happening now, you know, that we have to be one, and that there, you know, we have to talk about the dangers, but also the solutions and the future. And we were so dedicated and so motivated to do this. And even though it was very challenging, nature is the inspiration, what kept us through, and we created with nature. A lot of times we gave up because it looked like it was not possible. But we kept on going, and yeah, we were in the middle of nowhere, next to the river, in a tent, and we did this for 3 months. So eventually we had to dry the artworks and put it, you know, it was a public parking lot, so some people were walking along, and we talked with them, and it's like, hey, what is this? Like, okay. And then we were like realizing like how easy it suddenly is to have conversation about nature and about life and about deeper layers, you know. It's like, whoa, okay. And you know, the artworks we created were like very natural and raw, and people like their whole imagination were freed up. They wanted to touch the artworks, remember?
Well, it's between painting and sculpture, and the feeling that people want to touch the artwork is very much for me the feeling like how connected we would like to be with nature still.
And we had the opportunity to make an immense art exhibition. It costed us almost 1.5 years. We studied the essential elements, the planet Earth, and represented this in the most natural way. So we integrate the soil, the stones, even the crystals, the wood, like everything, and we had to process everything by hand. So we are like duo artists. We're working together, and you know, we had to do all different tryouts if it worked and stuff like that. So we developed now for a long time our skills.
So the first artwork we created together was a representation of the earth from the perspective to really share the message that we are all one and that we are all living on this planet, and how important it is that we have to take care of each other and of the environment that we are living in. And to create more of a connection, we got to learn that the earth is a living organism and that it is breathing. So we created breathing lights, because we also integrate lights in our artwork, to be able that the person who sees this can experience to breathe together with the earth.
Our focus is to give and to share as much as we can, and we would like to represent the biodiversity as well. And we were at that point that we felt like this is amazing. We can collaborate with nature organizations and initiatives, because we know so many people in this world are giving their lives and dedicated their lives to find solutions and working day and night to make remarkable change. And we would like to highlight them. This is like exactly the thing what we feel to do. We would like to go to the places where the help is needed and really represent this initiative, collect the materials there, make a whole study of it, maybe even, you know, help a hand there to find a balance, to work together and make a beautiful, healthy planet and also a healthy human well-being.
We also need your support to make this happen, and it can be any kind of support. It can be moral support, financial support, connections, anything that can take this further. Even accommodation would be amazing, so we can go to the places anywhere around the world to share these solutions, to be on site there as well and study it and use the natural environment, transform this in 100% natural artwork to share these solutions and to share a beacon of hope.